Starting up.
Pardon?
When are we starting up? Do you know?
In 2 minutes. I think it's at 10:30.
10:30. Okay. Because everybody else read 10 o'clock, which is what I read as well.
That's what I read as well too.
Okay.
Yeah. Right? Good.
Okay, let's give him one. Let's see.
Sorry.
Well, this is on time.
We're live. So this camera's live. Okay. Sorry guys, I gotta bump you again. The sun started messing up my video. Boy, you're not.
I will not comply once more. This will give you guys a chance to memorize it. Well, I will not comply. They try to take me to task because I don't want to wear a mask or take some vaccine that could maybe make me die. They got no scientific evidence to back that crap up. All they do is tell us lie after lie. I will not comply. Back since that March, I've had an achy, breaky heart like Billy Ray Cyrus. I've been catching a case of the blues from the news over that damn coronavirus. They keep telling us we gotta keep our chin diapers up and then go get a shot in the arm. Nobody's talking about exercise or eating fresh fruit grown on the farm. That's why I will not comply, yeah. They try to take me to task because I don't want to wear a mask or take some vaccine that could maybe make me die. They got no scientific evidence to back that crap up. All they do is tell us lie after lie. I will not comply. The only way to break the silence is to stop the silence right now. So if you tend to agree and you're ticked off like me, stand up and say it out loud. Ready? Well, I will not comply. They try to take me to task because I don't want to wear a mask or take some vaccine that could maybe make me die. They got no scientific evidence to back that crap up. All they do is feed us lie after lie. I will.
Remembrance Day today. Other things to take note of is if you're in uniform today because you're in the service or you're with the Legion, you can ride the Edmonton Transit system for free, and they will let you on. They just need proof of your membership. And the other thing to take note of is this evening they will be lighting up the bridges, the Walterdale Bridge and the High Level Bridge will be lit up in red in honor of Remembrance Day tonight. So as you're planning your day, you may want to consider making a trip through Edmonton at 6 p.m. or so, or later, and take in those bridges and the beauty of that. So we'll be starting in just another couple of minutes. If you'd like a poppy, we accept your donations graciously over here at the side table, and come and get a poppy for yourself if you like. And we'll start in just a few minutes.
Leave it this way so it's
No, listen to this.
This is a violation of our Charter Right, Section 6, and a violation of the Emergency Act 14.1. And tell everybody to say no to the test, no to quarantine,
Appreciate you being here today on such an important day. My name is Benita Peterson, and I founded an organization February 4th called All Fired Up for Freedom. Now I work with a great team of people called Alberta for Liberty. Plus, we work with another team of people at Edmonton Freedom Central. So those are some of the groups that are supporting today's event. This event is being live streamed at Edmonton Freedom Central. It's a Facebook page. There's also a link on YouTube and possibly Rumble. We're airing live right now, and we've got a couple of cameras going. I just want to bring to your attention. So if you could make sure that you don't speak when you're near those cameras, we would appreciate that. So, because it will pick you up. Thank you. Why are we having this event here today? I was researching the different Remembrance Day ceremonies being offered by different communities. And when I researched them, it hurt my heart a little, because I learned in some areas that you could not attend the Remembrance Day ceremony unless you were vaccinated. And then I learned in other ceremonies that it was by invitation only, In one case, a gentleman who serves in the military, his own wife couldn't attend the ceremony. She wasn't allowed because it was invitation only and she couldn't attend. So it hurt my heart that there were these ceremonies happening where everyone wasn't welcome. And so it was on my heart to do this today, to have a ceremony where everyone feels welcome. I hope you're all feeling welcome so far. So we encourage you to actually move a little bit this way because we think the sun is going to come out on this side and it might make you a bit more comfortable. So if you can move a little this way, you'll have, I think, a better experience and be able to see the presenters better and enjoy some of that sunshine and hopefully warm up your toes. So continue moving this way. There are other ceremonies happening today. There's one further west of us, and later this afternoon at 2 o'clock, there'll be one, a type of ceremony happening over at the Flames. So if you wish, once the ceremony is over, you might want to leave for lunch, go and warm up, and then come back for the 2 p.m. ceremony. I'll be here supporting that one as well. And so we're about to get started, and I have a few words. These words are from Francis A. Walker. We come not to mourn our dead soldiers, but to praise them. From Joseph Campbell, a hero is someone who has given his or her life to something bigger than oneself. From Billy Graham, courage is contagious. When a brave man takes a stand, the spines of others are often stiffened. In a few moments, we'll be singing O Canada, and we encourage you to join in the singing. Thank you so much to Benita. Thank you to everyone that's here. So I'm so privileged and honored to sing O Canada for you. I just learned the guitar a couple days ago because I wanted to be able to add some music. So I'd love to have you sing along. Oh, Canada, our home and native land, true patriot in all Iceland's combat. With glowing hearts we see the rise, the true north strong and free. From far and wide, oh Canada, we stand on guard for thee. God, keep our land glorious and free. Oh Canada, we stand on guard for thee. Oh, Canada, we stand on guard for thee. Thank you so much. You sang beautifully. I'm so glad to be here with you celebrating. We are now going to hear a poem from Soraya. Soraya, please come up.
Poppy, Poppy, what do you say? Wear me on Remembrance Day. Poppy, Poppy, what do you tell? Many soldiers in battle fell. Poppy, Poppy, what should we know? That peace on earth should grow, grow, grow.
Next, we will hear Ray deliver the poem in Flanders Fields. But before he does, I just want to let you know that this is a peaceful event, and anyone who is behaving in a manner other than a peaceful manner is not associated with this event. We're here to do a Remembrance Day ceremony. We're doing it in a different style than you might be accustomed to. It was on the hearts of the people who are participating today to share their messages with you. So now we'll hear from Ray.
In Flanders Fields by John McCrae. In Flanders Fields the poppies blow, beneath the crosses row on row that mark our place, and in the sky the larks still bravely singing fly, scarce heard amid the guns below. We are the dead. Short days ago we lived, felt dawn, saw sunset glow, loved and were loved, and now we lie in Flanders Fields. Take up our quarrel with the foe. To you from failing hands we throw the torch. Be yours to hold it high. If you break faith with us who die, we shall not sleep, though poppies grow in Flanders Fields.
Our next presenter is Pastor Rodney Fortin from Church in the Vine, and he has a message to share with us. Let's give him a warm welcome.
How's everybody doing today? You all good? Staying warm out in the sun? All right, my friends, we are gathered here today on a pivotal point in Canadian history where we stand to remember the fallen soldiers as well as those who serve with them and continue to serve our country's forces. Early Tuesday morning, I began to consider what I was going to share with you all today, and the Tomb of the Unknown Soldier came to my heart. In an article illustrating the origin of the unknown soldier, I read, on May 23, 2000, a Canadian Forces aircraft flew to France to bring the unknown soldier back to Canada. On board was a delegation consisting of a Canadian Forces contingent, including a 45-person guard, a bearer party, and a chaplain. The Veterans Affairs contingent contained veterans and civilians, including 2 representatives of Canadian youth. The Commonwealth War Graves Commission, responsible for the care of graves and memorials of the Commonwealth Forces members who died in the First and Second World Wars, selected an unidentified Canadian soldier from the Cabaret Rouge British Cemetery in the vicinity of Vimy Ridge, the site of a famous Canadian battle of the First World War. On May 25th, at a ceremony at the Canadian National Vimy Memorial, the Commonwealth War Graves Commission turned over the remains to Canada. At that point, the Canadian Forces took over responsibility for the safekeeping and transport of the soldiers' remains. Immediately after the ceremony, the Canadian delegation returned to Ottawa with a casket containing the soldiers' remains on board the aircraft. On the evening of May 25th, the casket carrying the remains of the unknown soldier was transported to Parliament buildings, where it was placed in the Hall of Honor in the center block. The remains lay in the state there for 3 days until the morning of May 28th, so that Canadians could view the casket and pay their respects. In the afternoon of May 28th, the unknown soldier was transported from Parliament Hill to the National War Memorial on a horse-drawn carriage provided by the Royal Canadian Mounted Police. In a ceremony which aired on national television, the unknown soldier was laid to rest in a specially designed sarcophagus directly in front of the National War Memorial. As I further contemplated this memorial of the unknown soldier, several things came to mind. When you see the unknown soldier, he represents every soldier who has ever stood for freedom, who died on the battlefields in Europe or other places of the world. When I think of him, I begin to imagine every soldier who fought and died to keep Canadians free. He represents the 650,000 Canadians who fought in the Great War or World War I from 1914 to 1918. He represents the 66,000 of our service members who gave their lives, and more than 172,000 were wounded as well. He represents more than 1 million Canadians who served in the Second World War. More than 45,000 gave their lives and another 55,000 were wounded. He also represents the many servicemen and women who have died in other battles and in the service of our great nation. Every one of the soldiers who lived and died to fight against tyranny can be seen in the unknown soldier. They must never be forgotten. As I think of our fallen heroes, for me, it seems that the best way to honor and remember them is to stand ourselves and set our face like flint toward the enemy and become like one of them. The best way to salute their bravery is not to retreat at the first pushback of unjust tyrannical government, but to run into the battle. As I contemplated this further, I was reminded of a story in the Bible where there was a giant with an army behind him on one side and the young shepherd boy with an army behind him. With the fear-mongering shouts of an oppressive opposing giant taunting and trying to intimidate him from behind enemy lines, the young shepherd boy picked up 5 stones and loading one into his sling, he shouted these words. He said, "You come to me with a sword and a spear and a javelin, but I come to you in the name of the Lord of hosts, the God of the armies of Israel, whom you have taunted. This day the Lord will deliver you up into my hands, and I will strike you down and remove your head from you. And I will give the dead bodies of the army of Philistines this day to the birds of the sky and the wild beasts of the earth, that all the earth may know that there is a God in Israel, and that all this assembly may know that the Lord does not deliver by sword or by spear, for the battle is the Lord's, and he will give you into our hands." For David, it took courage and faith to overcome the enemy of the people. For every soldier who ever fought against tyranny, it took both courage and faith to overcome. My friends, there is an enemy that we must be overcoming today that stands in between us and our freedom, and we must all be courageous to take hold of faith. We must all take up the mantle of the unknown soldier. We may not walk in muddy boots, carrying a gun with grenades strapped to our backs today, but we are all called to the battle. Right now, the best way to honor those who gave their lives, in my opinion, is to stand and fight against the current tyranny that we all face as Canadians, to strap on our bayonets in the form of a pen and write our governments, to march against the current draconian measures that seek to desecrate the memorial stones of every soldier who gave their lives. John Basil Barnhill once wrote, "When the people fear the government, there is tyranny. But when the government fears the people, there is liberty." For our Premier and Prime Minister today, they will both make an outward political show in front of the camera to honor those who have lost their lives. But their actions have clearly demonstrated something completely different. In their acts of cowardice toward the innocent of our nation, they have shamefully desecrated the memory of every soldier who gave their lives for our freedom. Let my words speak out as a testimony before heaven and earth against them and all such government today. Many in our country will not appreciate what I've just said, but I would like to echo the words of George Orwell when he said, "If liberty means anything at all, it means the right to tell people what they do not want to hear." And further, I would like to echo the words of L.I. Stevenson, who said, "My definition of a free society is a society where it's safe to be unpopular." As I thought about the unknown soldier today, I thought that if I might somehow be able to stand but for a moment in his shoes, I too would stand and draw the line in the sand, making my mark as I fight against tyranny. Today, I don't stand with a gun as they did, but I surrender my life by using my words and the pen. I surrender my life by speaking out against evil, and I've chosen to lace up my boots and march for truth and justice in our land in hopes that one day our country could be restored once again. Today, the face of the enemy may look different than Adolf Hitler, Mussolini, and Emperor Hirohito, but the faces have changed, but the enemy remains the same. Finally, I'd like to ask this question in the form of a quote by Dietrich Bonhoeffer, the German pastor who was executed by the Nazi regime at Flossenburg concentration camp on April 9th, 1945, just 2 weeks before the United States liberated the camp. He said, "We must finally stop appealing to theology to justify our reserved silence about what the state is doing, for that is nothing but fear. Open your mouth for the one who is voiceless. For who in the church today still remembers that it is the least of the Bible's demands in times such as these?" Dietrich Bonhoeffer was not a soldier with a gun, but a pastor with a Bible, a vision for a free people, courage in his heart, and the word of God in his mouth. In those moments of courage as a civilian, Bonhoeffer became the face of the unknown soldier against the then known threat of tyranny. For me, the unknown soldier continues to speak and must never be forgotten. He is beckoning to all of us who love freedom to take on his charge and to stand up to the tyranny that now threatens our nation. How will you remember this unknown soldier? Will you take up his charge today? And will you face, in the face of what others have laid down their lives to protect? What will you do for freedoms today? I want to say this as I close. God bless every soldier, past, present, and future. We stand with you today, and we remember your sacrifice as you represent every defender of truth, righteousness, and justice. God bless the nation of Canada, as well as the Canadians who rise and stand on guard for thee. God bless Canada. And I'd like to offer a prayer for the soldiers who continue to stand for our country, for those servicemen who continue to stand, and also for those who stand for freedom in our nation, like yourselves. Would you bow with me in prayer? Father, I just thank you so much for our nation. I thank you for the freedom that you've called us to. And Father, today, in the name of Jesus, Father, we contend for faith, for justice, for righteousness, for truth. Father, I pray that you bless every soldier who continues to fight, every soldier that serves, both men and women, in the armed forces, with the police, with the, God, anybody that serves in our nation this way. And God, we thank you for them. We bless them. And Father, those that are standing for freedom today, Father, we're reminded of the unknown soldier, and we're reminded that we can all take our place and stand with him today. And Lord, we thank you for this country. In Jesus' name, amen. Well, it gives me super great pleasure to introduce our next presenter. And this guy I've known for many, many years. He is a retired sergeant. He was many years in the armed forces as well as the RCMP. He served our nation with pride and continues to. And now he's a pastor with me at Church in the Vine in Edmonton. And I want you to give a great, great hand, a big clap for Sergeant or retired Sergeant Reverend Bruce Taylor.
that helicopter flyby gives me great memories. I spent 3 years with the 408 helicopter squadron. I think it was just so appropriate to have fly back. I knew so. Yeah. First of all, I want to introduce myself. I introduced myself to our church family on Sunday in a unique way, and I want to do that same thing today. But in just a few moments, we're going to have a 21-gun salute at 11 o'clock. So whatever I'm saying will be interrupted, and I'll stop till after that, and then I'll come back and share a few remarks with you. So I have a couple of minutes to introduce myself. I'm going to introduce myself this morning as 3 separate people to you. The first person is Sergeant Bruce Taylor, Royal Canadian Army, 18 years, retired. Constable Bruce Taylor, RCMP, 7 years, retired. And the real me this morning, Pastor Bruce, 35 years and never going to retire. Amen. It's so appropriate for me and my family to be here today because a lot of our service was in Edmonton. So as a 25-year veteran of the Armed Forces and with a family history of participation in past wars and skirmishes or whatever you want to call them, it's a great privilege for me this morning to stand here today and share a few remarks with you. And I want to do this morning, I want to share about, it'll be a little bit different than most remembrance talks, I think. I want to talk about remembrance, the word itself, the meaning of remembrance. There are 3 symbols, or emblems if you wish, involved in Remembrance Day, and each one of them have a very unique and a very significant ability to cause you and I to remember. The first symbol are the service medals that you see our veterans wearing today. Involved in remembering a day for each one of them has a very unique and a significant ability to cause us to remember along with them. Each medal that they wear represents a memory of a place or of an event of personal service. When veterans pass on, it's a personal memory for members of their family. And may I interject here really quickly, if you have a relative as past service and you know where their medals are, I would really encourage you to take those medals and find out what each one represents and make that a part of your family history. That's a tremendous way for us to remember as family members those that have given their life. I guess our time is up, so we're waiting for the 21-gun salute. I've got about 30 seconds.
Ladies and gentlemen, there will be a 21-gun salute at the ceremony nearby. We tell you that so that you're comfortable when that happens. It's that time. We're now coming on that 11 o'clock hour. So for the next few minutes, we ask that you remove your hats and stand in silence in remembrance. Thank you all for participating in those minutes of silence. Thank you for demonstrating your appreciation and your respect for all of those who served in the past, the present, and into the future. Thank you.
I'm not sure if that's quite the end yet, but I think I will get on. In reference to the 21 gun salute, I want to share this with you. Okay. All right.
That's the guns.
They shall not grow old as we that are left grow old. Years shall not weary, nor years condemn. At the going down of the sun, and in the morning, we shall remember them. Get back to my few remarks this morning. And may I just say, those servicemen that are here today, and the veterans, we honor you, and that is what this is all about. And we're so glad you are here with us this morning, and we honor you. I talked about the first emblems of remembrance that helps you and I remember are the service medals that members of the RCMP and the Armed Forces wear today. My father spoke very little of his wartime experiences, but I have a miniature set of his medals that I'm wearing today in honor of him. My older brother has the original, and so I wear these in honor of my father and his wartime service from 1939 till 1945. But he spoke very little of his wartime experiences. The medals represent a personal memories, and many times these memories are not pleasant because of the terrible thoughts of battles that they fought and went through, because of the terrible thoughts of the battles, the death of friends and comrades, and the hardships and the struggles of wartime. But these personal memories are necessary for them and their families when we understand the meaning of the word memory, and that's really what I want to share with you today. In the context of Remembrance Day, the word memory isn't just a recollection of an event, but it means what happened back then continues to affect you and I today. What unfolded back then forever alters those that were touched by it, and it continues to be operative now, altering forever for those of us who remember that event today. Remembering the sacrifices of the past must have a profound effect upon us today, or that event will become meaningless. As we look at the service medals of today, we bring personal memories to life, and again, you and I are affected by that event. And by affected, I mean the value of that event serves us today. The second emblem is the poppy, and we heard that beautiful young lady reciting that poem. What a great job. Let's give her a hand. She did a great job. That's great. The second emblem is the poppy that we all wear today. As the medals are personal memories, I call the poppies the corporate memories of Remembrance Day. Each November, millions of poppies bloom in Canada. They blossom on the jackets and the hearts of nearly half of the Canadian population, and they have blossomed for over, I think today, matter of fact, is the 100th year anniversary of the poppy, in 1921. The poppy is a symbol that we corporately use to show us that we remember those that paid the supreme sacrifice of their lives in wartime peacekeeping operations. and the days they've been involved in. I want to interject here very quickly as well. Today we honor those that have paid the supreme sacrifice, but I also want to honor those served in the military that gave their lives for that just cause, maybe in accidents, training exercises. I have a personal friend, Ross Caton, and back in 1969, a C-130 or a Chinook helicopter crashed here in Edmonton, and he was a loadmaster on that, and he paid for it with his life. So he too is to be remembered today. I remember being in Petawawa with an airdrop, airborne regiment, and there's a miscalculation or something on the direction of the aircraft, and 8 paratroopers landed in the Ottawa River. They lost their lives. They too need to be honored today. Their faces are unknown to us, but the memory of their valor, their bravery, and their sacrifice still affects you and I today. In remembering, in the sense that we must remember corporately, we must keep in mind, remember today's statement that says, lest we forget. To forget something or something is to annihilate it or remove it from our memory and to bring it to no account. Lest we forget means we must remember. Let the sacrifices of our armed forces, our police forces, may be blotted out or annihilated or rendered of no account. And it has no meaning for the reality of today where you and I live. In a fallen world where injustice and evil are the order of the day, and peace arises only as sacrifices are made, which is to say, only as sacrifices made on our behalf is remembered, it thereby prompts action in our own personal lives. To remember a sacrifice made for us is to simply make our own sacrifice on behalf of others. So we have the medals, personal memories. We have the poppy, corporate memories. The third symbol that I want to mention this morning is the cross. I call that a eternal memory. Years ago, along with my wife, when we served in Germany, we walked through the Canadian Military Cemetery in Arnhem, in Belgium. And as I viewed the thousands of crosses, row on row, the words of John McCrae's poem echoed through my mind, and we heard that recited this morning. The symbol of the service medals represents the battles that were fought. Poppies that we wear represent those that paid the supreme price in those battles. But the cross represents the hope of the living and the dead. The cross is not just a grave marker, but it is a memory of another supreme sacrifice of life to all mankind. It is the hope of the resurrection and eternal life with God through Jesus Christ. The cross is God's way of uniting suffering and love. So I trust today that all our Remembrance Day memories, our personal ones, our corporate or universal or eternal ones, will lead us to true peace, which is found in God alone through Jesus Christ. So in closing, so that to remember is to make a past event an active reality, the determining truth of our lives today. The memory of fallen comrades, represented by the poppy, reminds us of the supreme sacrifice, and we too be willing, if necessary, to do the same. The memory of the cross reminds us of the hope of the resurrection and eternal life. By not remembering, we make the medals of no effect. By not remembering, we make the poppy of no effect. By not remembering, we make the cross of no effect. The Apostle Paul writes in 1 Corinthians 1:17 that he was sent to preach the gospel, not with the wisdom of words, lest the cross of Christ should be made of no effect. I want to recite a poem to you, and I'm trying to find the author's name here, and forgive me, I don't have it. But I want to close with this poem this morning. He was getting old and paunchy, and his hair was falling fast as he sat around the Legion telling stories of the past, of a war that he had fought and the deeds that he had done. In his exploits with his buddies, they were heroes, every one. Though sometimes to his neighbors his tales became a joke, all his Legion buddies listened, for they knew whereof he spoke. But we'll hear his tale no longer, for a soldier has passed away, and the world's a little poorer, for a soldier died today. He will not be mourned by many, just his children and his wife, for he lived an ordinary and quite uneventful life, held a job, raised a family, quietly going his own way, and the world won't note his passing, though a soldier died today. When politicians leave this earth, their bodies lie in state, while 1,000 note their passing, proclaim that they were great. Newspapers tell their whole life stories from the time that they were young, but the passing of a soldier goes unnoticed and unsung. Is the greatest contribution to the welfare of our land a guy who breaks his promises and cons his fellow man, or the ordinary fellow whom in times of war and strife goes off to serve his country and he offers up his life? A politician stiffened in the style in which he lives are sometimes disproportionate to the service that he gives, while the ordinary soldier, may I interject as well, every airman, every Navy, every soldier who offered up his all is paid off with a medal and perhaps a pension small. It's so easy to forget them, for it was so long ago. The old soldiers of our country went to battle, but we know it was not the politicians with their compromise and their ploys who won for us the freedom that our country now enjoys. Should you find yourself in danger with your enemies at hand, would you want a politician with his ever-shifting stand? Or would you prefer a soldier who has sworn to defend his home, his kin, and country, and would fight until the end? He's just a common soldier, and his ranks are growing thin, but his presence should remind us we may need his like again. For when the countries are in conflict, then we find the soldier's part is to clean up all the troubles that politicians start. If we cannot do him honor while he's here to hear our praise, then at least let's give him homage at the ending of his days. Perhaps just a simple headline in a paper that would say, "Our country's in mourning for a soldier died today." We honor them today. Thank you so much for allowing me.
Thank you. That was Pastor Bruce, and he is from Church in the Vine. Thank you again, Pastor Bruce. I have another poem for you, and then we will hear from our next presenter. This poem is titled Remember Them by Mario Chiodo. Remember them when you walk with freedom. Remember them when you think of liberty. Remember them when your children get on the school bus. Remember them when you sleep without fear. Remember them when you are hungry or lonely. Remember them when you thirst for knowledge. Remember them when you cannot see the light or hear the birds sing. Remember them when you are lost and need hope. Remember them when others say, you cannot. Remember them when you know you can. Remember them when it is difficult to see the good. Remember them when those less fortunate come your way. Remember them when someone is unkind. Remember them. Forgive and be compassionate. Remember them when you see injustices. Remember them and know your voice can be heard. Remember them and stand up for what is right. Remember them and know that we are all equal. Remember them and know that our children become what they see. Remember them and know that your actions determine history. Remember them and know that obstacles are really opportunities. Remember them and know the greatest success often comes from failure. Remember them and know you have so much to give. Remember them and walk the path of peace. Remember them and never give up. Remember them and reach for the stars. Our next presenter served in the forces, and he now has injuries due to his time of service. His name is Brad Chalmers. Please give him a welcome.
Canada, attention! I am a Canadian Army veteran and proud to join you this Remembrance Day. Today is a day we remember sacrifices made, the most unimaginable and horrible sacrifices one could ask of a person to make. Today is a day we remember sacrifices made in the name of one word: freedom. Freedom from oppressive governments. Freedom from medical experimentation. Freedom from discrimination. Every freedom soldiers around the world have fought, died, and suffered for is being erased. Suffer they have. Every soldier, every last one, and every last one has suffered differently. Horrible physical disfigurations, mustard gas blisters, disembowelment, limbs being blown from bodies, shrapnel wounds, horrible burns, and this is only scratching the surface of the sacrifices made for one word: freedom. I personally know a soldier who carried the dismembered leg of a fellow soldier in an attempt to help a platoon member during combat. I know a soldier who almost lost his life to a roadside bomb and now has scars on their face that serve as a constant reminder of the trauma they endured. Not all soldiers suffer in the field of combat. Some are injured in battalion and have their hopes of a tour to perform their duties dashed. I myself never performed my duties in a theater of war. My story is not so glorious. I was injured and honorably discharged after serving the term of my contract. The injuries that have me on crutches today are a direct result of my service without going on a tour overseas. Every soldier has a different story. Every soldier has a different tour of duty. Our tour has come, and it is right here in Canada, fighting for that one word: freedom. Now, is the time for our tour. Now is the time for our story. It is time for people to pick up the torch where our soldiers have left it and honor them by serving our country like soldiers and as true freedom fighters. Freedom. Just how important is freedom? According to recent estimates, between 150 million and 1 billion people have died fighting at war. Our ancestors' sacrifices are a heavy burden to carry. Let's do it with our chins held high and without compromise. My brothers and sisters, the time draws near where tyranny will rule and freedom will lie in ruin. Let's make this the time we stand on guard for thee!
Thank you. That was Brad Chalmers. We appreciate your message very, very much. My name is Benita Peterson, and it's now time for the closing remarks. I have a message for you about sacrifice. Sacrifice takes many forms, and we come to a Remembrance Day event to honor the sacrifice of those in the past for their lives. Many paid the ultimate sacrifice for their lives. Even presently, there are veterans who are struggling with injuries and issues and other concerns, and they've made a sacrifice. And as things unfold, we're finding that there may be sacrifices required of all of us, not just those who've signed up to serve in the military. Sacrifices of all of us may be required in the near future. There are people sacrificing right now and they don't even know it. They're agreeing to a medical treatment that is concerning, may cause some issues. There's people surrendering their right to breathe right now, putting on a mask, a breathing barrier, and going about and accepting that way. In a sense, they're making a sacrifice. I don't agree with all their choices. They make those choices because they think it's the right thing to do or they think they have to. But let's take a moment to realize that whether they realize it or not, they're making sacrifices. And there's going to be more sacrifices required of us. So let's just take a moment to honor those who are going through some things, including the vaccine injured. And let's just take a moment to honor them. The world is tumultuous right now. When you disagree with someone, it's very easy to get angry or stop talking. What I urge you to do in going forward is that you engage in conversation with those that you disagree with, but do it in a loving way. When we look at the sacrifices of the past, one of the greatest ways we can honor those people is going forward is to love one another. It is possible to disagree with grace. It is possible to love someone who is in a completely different mindset from you. So let's learn from the sacrifices of our soldiers that we can, when needed, sacrifice being right sacrifice our pride. We can put our own ego aside and move forward in love. Thank you all for attending today. Before you leave today, we encourage you to stop at the table on the side there. If you would like more information about coming events, we can collect your email and send you some information. If you would like to be of service in some way at coming events, we would love some information from you. There is another event happening today that you might be interested at 2 p.m. happening right at the Flame there. It is oil and gas workers, and they are standing in silence as a form of protest against the unreasonable restrictions. So if you wish to come and support them, their event starts at 2 p.m. I can understand completely if you have to go away for a while and warm up and get some lunch, but if it's on your heart to come back and join us at 2 p.m. for that other event, you are welcome to do so. My name is Benita Peterson from All Fired Up for Freedom, and I consider it an honor and a privilege to be of service today and provide sound and assist in organizing a ceremony for Remembrance Day at which all can feel welcome. Thank you for attending.
Section 6, and a violation of the Emergency Act 14.1. And refuses to take that. I tell everybody to say no to the test, no to the quarantine, say no. I'm going to be calling you today. Thank you very much. You are a citizen, you have rights.
I went to see the doctor with a touch of the flu, and I'm kinda skeptical of what he told me to do. He said that I should lock myself inside my room for a year, shut my non-essential business down and cower in fear. I said, Doc, I don't know, that seems so out of line. Give it 3, maybe 4 days, I bet I'll be fine. He said, no, you must not, you must wait for the shot. Everybody's gotta get it or society stops. I said, Doc, I don't know, is that all really true? These shots are brand new, they ain't fully approved. He said, no, you can trust us, it's the latest in science. Never mind the people dying, just give up your compliance. I said, Doc, you must have me mistaken with someone pliable. I can't trust you if none of these companies are liable. So I'm gonna stay the course like a one-way road. Take your vaccine and shove it, I'ma just say no. 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 Just say what? Just say no. To the war being waged on our minds and our bodies and our soul. They ain't looking out for you, it's a scam and it's all about control. So doing what they say won't make it go away, oh no. But they don't know the lengths I'll go. Through rain and snow, I ain't so I left the doctor's office and stepped onto the street, feeling troubled by the lies and campaign of deceit. But I'm not easily defeated, I'm not one to retreat. I tried to make a post about it, they deleted the tweet. Undeterred, I stood on the corner holding a sign. The cops showed up, I got arrested and fined. They told me that my words are considered a crime. Next they'll be coming for the thoughts in your mind. I knew they were wrong, I took my ticket and left. They're trying to make it difficult for those of us who resist. And with every headline the propaganda continues. Now they say I'm gonna need a shot to step in a venue. All according to script, going exactly as planned. Next they're gonna wanna put a microchip in our hand. They say conspiracy theory, and that's all that they do. But it isn't just a theory if it keeps coming true.
And that's why I'm gonna just say no.
Just say no. Just say no. Just say no. Just say no. Just say no. Just say no. about to back down, I'm hopping in the saddle. I'm coming at it from a different angle like a southpaw. The system is corrupt, so it's good to be an outlaw. I'm rallying the troops, I'm looking for the lions who know that we will never get more freedom with compliance. If the passports happen, we won't get away with just one. They're gonna make us take a new shot every 6 months. It's only getting worse every time that we comply more. They take away the rights that our grandparents died for. Time to defy and let the vibes rise more. Make a better world for our kids, what we strive for. And that means getting rid of all restrictions and masks, saying no to passports and resisting the jab. It's time to kick some dust up like an unpaved road. So join me and Chris Sky and just say no. 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 Just say what? Just say no.
I will not comply once more. This will give you guys a chance to memorize it. Well, I will not comply. They try to take me to task because I don't want to wear a mask or take some vaccine that could maybe make me die. We got no scientific evidence to back that crap up. All they do is tell us lie after lie. I will not comply. Back since that March, I've had an achy, breaky heart like Billy Ray Cyrus. I've been catching a case of the blues from the news over the damn coronavirus. They keep telling us we gotta keep our chin diapers up and then go get a shot in the arm. Nobody's talking about exercise or eating fresh fruit grown on the farm. That's why I will not comply. Yeah. They try to take me to task because I don't want to wear a mask or take some vaccine that could maybe make me die. They got no scientific evidence to back that crap up. All they do is tell us lie after lie. I will not comply. The only way to break silence is to stop the silence right now. So if you tend to agree and you're ticked off like me, stand up and say it out loud. Ready? Well, I will not comply. They try to take me to task because I don't want to wear a mask or take some vaccine that could maybe make me die. They got no scientific evidence to back that crap up. All they do is feed us lie after lie. I will not comply. Let's sing it once more. Well, I will not comply. They try to take me to task because I don't want to wear a mask or take some vaccine that could maybe make me die. They got no scientific evidence to back that crap up. All they do is feed us lie after lie. I will not comply. I'm here to tell you, Facebook, I will not comply. Oh, yeah. Wow, wow. Yeah.
Housewives? Have you been told that before? The
no.
husband of one of the wives? You look the same image of him. You're like a doppelganger.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, maybe he's my doppelganger.
Okay, that's it.
I think as long as you show back up, guys.
I actually have 4 signs because I got lots of paint. You got double sides.
Oh, wow.
I have another side. It says, no law can make a coward feel safe. There is no vaccine that can cure a coward.
Yep.
My other sign, so Soon, I feel like I had to come out here with some outrageous signs because City Council is going to make hateful signs and symbols expensive for people who want to express themselves. And so torches. So first off, I'm all for hate speech. Hate is passionate dislike. Hate is passionate dislike, and we all have the right to have emotions. Nobody can say we have no right to feel this emotion, and to invalidate hate is to gaslight a person's reality. And you know what makes people hate people? Is invalidation. If you actually want to make people care and respect you, not invalidating them and making them feel bad about their perspective on life is a good way to do it. And taking symbols that have for ages meant a certain thing and perverting them into symbols of hate because you're a coward.
So I'm gonna interject here. So your name again?
It's Cameron.
Cameron, thanks so much, Cameron. Really appreciate this. My name's Benita, and I'm with All Fired Up for Freedom. And as many people are aware, I'm involved in freedom rallies. And at one of my early rallies back in February, I did advertise that we're going to use torches. And so we talk a lot about symbols, and some people think torches are a symbol of hate, but Lady Liberty holds a torch. So what I did before that event back in February is I contacted a fellow. He's a senior in the Athabasca area, and we had a chat. And I said to him, you know what? I'm planning this event. We're going to use torches because we, the freedom fighters, we, the liberty lovers, we represent hope. And we are the lights in the darkness. And we're going to hold torches as a symbol of hope. That's what we're going to do. So I asked him, how do you feel about that? He says, I think that's great. I think that's super. We are the lights in the darkness. He's a black man, and he had no issue with me using torches at an event. So when it comes to symbolism, the symbol is what you make it to be. So at an event, the poppy symbol, where the red basically means blood, a torch can represent hope.
But the poppy also represents being asleep and unconscious, because that's literally what poppies, they create heroin and morphine and numb pain and put people to sleep.
That's an interesting interpretation.
A torch, if you watch Jungle Book, is what separates humans from animals, the red flower. It's the human ingenuity to take control of fire is what separates humans from basically all other animals, and is a huge part of where our human civilization comes from. And so and there's a torch right over there.
There's a torch over there.
There's a torch right over there.
There's a symbol, and there's going to be an event there today. So there's some interesting interpretations of things here going on. I just want to thank everybody who tuned in today. We really appreciate you. And we may be live again this afternoon at 2 p.m. So if you want to join us, you can. Edmonton Freedom Central. I'm Benita Peterson with All Fired Up for Freedom. And I just want to put out my love to you that I'm so glad we had a couple hundred people here for this event today for Remembrance Day. Thank you everyone for attending. The fellow with the sign kind of surprised me because I wasn't expecting signs at a Remembrance Day event, but I think at least 95% of the people wore their poppies today, which I thought was really, really nice, and we had some wonderful presenters. So we hope you enjoyed that. We're open to feedback, and if you want to help out with other events, I encourage you to come on Saturday, November 13th, Alberta Legislature grounds. We're going to be on the Capitol Plaza area, and it's all about kids. That event is all about kids, so we invite you to bring your entire family. So thanks a bunch for tuning in. That was fantastic, and we'll just take a look around at some of the people hanging out here that are still here. These people are very brave. They're brave in the cold. So we'll tune in later. Thanks.
We have to play that.
Our military died for our freedom! Do you know you look like that guy from Desperate Housewives? Have you been told that before? The husband of one of the wives? You look the same image of him. You're like a doppelganger to him.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, maybe he's my doppelganger.
Okay, that's it.
Hi,
I think as long as you show back up with ice cream.
By now, you should be waking up to the fact. Oh, there's a purple wave coming. We're taking our country back.
Yeah.
This is far better than any picture I could take of this crowd because it'd be so difficult because there's just so many people. A single camera frame just doesn't do it justice. So we're just going to sit here until every single one of them walks by us just to see. I'll go back and I'll count later. I'll use a clicker. How about that? Hi, how are you? Heads up.
Yeah, it's growing.
5 to 1, baby. 1 and 5. Hello. Hi, how are you? Hi. Just about lost my camera angle there. Oh. Whew. Look at how many people. Absolute thousands. I don't think it was an overestimate when Sloan said 8 to 10,000. I think he's right. They just kept tumbling in, but we couldn't see them from the center. And I tell you, man, this is unbelievable. I've been at a few Calgary marches in the past, and there's been nothing like this before. Nothing like this. It's the only way we're going to count the numbers. We're going to count every single one.
Couple of generations.
But it doesn't.
We're going to know just how many people came out this time. Okay. It's been 4 minutes and 30 seconds, and you guys just keep coming. Freedom! 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 This is just amazing. Amazing. Love it. Oh, we got a stereo. Hi.
It's okay. CBC identifies as a news organization.
I've been standing in this spot for 5.5 minutes, and you guys just keep coming.
We do not consent! We do not consent! We do not consent! We do not consent!
Heads up. Heads up, heads up. Oh! You just about fell for me. We'll just keep coming.
No passports! 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 No passports!
They just keep coming. This is incredible. I've been standing here for 6 minutes, and you guys just keep coming.
Awesome.
Oh, shitty camera work. I've been standing here for 7 minutes, and people just keep passing me. I think that's a lot.
Hey, CBC, where are you? Oh, you're not being paid to be here. Show your face. You won't be a mask.
Yeah, so unless this is a Flintstone reel, I don't know. I'm gonna study this video later. Is it the same people walking by over and over, or are these all new people? These are new faces.
These are new people, and we keep coming and coming and coming, and we're bumping into new friends, and we're happy to be here. We're gonna sing the cry of the mother. Oh. This is the cry of the mother! This is the one who knows your children are next! This corporate greed has to go!
Oops, sorry. 8 minutes. I've been standing here 8 minutes, and you guys just keep going by me. It looks like we have absolute thousands of people here. This is incredible. Thank you for coming out for your country.
We are Alberta. We will never stop.
If you can find it, make sure every street is full of people. No passports! No passports! No passports! No passports! No passports!
No, we're just coming up. We're just coming up to the intersection. You probably can't transfer that.
I just can't even believe this.
People have got to do this.
Yeah, buddy!
This is amazing. Thanks, guys, for coming out. Okay, my arm's getting sore. Lift it up. Nine minutes of continuous people walking by me. I'm just standing here.
I'm doing a count from the corner. I'm at over 5,000.
Yeah. Well, and like I've got a video here. We can literally count them as they go by.
I'm with Western Standard, so I need to have a good number.
Sure. Derek Sloan was estimating 8,000 to 10,000. So I don't know. I'm inclined to believe him, looking at these numbers. But
yeah, I think so.
I'm gonna go.
Definitely at about 6,000 now. I'm kind of counting it in chunks.
Okay. Well, I don't know what your technique is.
Well, my technique is I literally just stand and count 20 people deep chunks.
Okay.
And so I'm literally, as we speak, still doing it.
Yeah.
I've never gone live before, but I just
I've been standing here almost 11 minutes, and people just keep going by me. Oh, my finger's in the shot. That's no good. Thanks for coming out. So many people. They're just fed up. They're finally fed up. And look at the weather we got for this. It's incredible. It's got to be about 25 degrees, beautiful blue sky, sunny. It's like an Indian summer. And people have had it with Kenny, and they've had it with Trudeau. And it's time to change directions of this country. Okay, we got a little gap there, but that's okay. They're still coming. They're still coming. Holy cow. I just can't even believe how they just keep coming.
That's a neat sign. That's a neat I have not met one person who does this every time, but she keeps reminding me that she's I'm glad to see you.
Oh, that looks like the end. That looks like the end. Look at that. We're at almost 13 minutes. How do you like that? What a lucky number. There it is. 13 minutes. And we got a police car at the end. And that is all she wrote. So now it's just to go capture what's going on in the streets. You're on live, Benita.
Hi, am I on live? Okay, well, I'm trying to warm up. So I'm sitting in my van. My heart, my toes might be really cold right now, like super cold, but my heart is warm. It was a number of days ago, I decided I just had to do a Remembrance Day ceremony, because every Remembrance Day ceremony that I was reading about was in some way segregating the people. And like there were people not welcome to attend, and you couldn't go to certain ceremonies, or they were going to fence off certain areas, so certain people are allowed here, certain people allowed there. So the bottom line is, I was looking at Remembrance Day ceremony advertisements, and I was so disappointed that there's these unreasonable restrictions, like, oh, if you're not from the same household, you're supposed to stay 6 feet apart, and if you're going to be within 6 feet, you have to wear a mask. And there's all these rules, and to me, those rules are unreasonable. At a Remembrance Day ceremony to me is a bit like a funeral, and we're honoring life. And when we do that, we need connection. We need to connect to one another. Gathering is essential. We have to get together. And so we bring the people together, and if they want to hug each other and come within 6 feet and they're from separate households, so be it. I'm not going to encourage or enforce measures you have to stay 6 feet apart. That's just wrong to me. It's wrong to me from a base human level. So anyway, I'm so glad that my heart pushed me to do this. I think we had at least 200 people here today. Maybe it was 300 or more. And I think it meant something to all those people who attended, that they could come to a ceremony, and in our own way, we could honor those who have served, and those who are serving, and those who are going to serve in the future. And of course, with our focus right now on freedom, there was lots of presentations today about freedom, presentations and poems that touch your heart. And I feel like it was a really, really good day. And when I think about how cold my toes are right now, all those people stood out there with cold toes. And and they stayed for the entire hour-long service. So in a sense, like, we suffer, we sacrifice in our own ways for the greater good, and people were doing it today by being here in the cold. So for those of you who couldn't make it and be here in person, it's okay. We understand, and we're just so glad you could tune in online. And if you haven't seen the whole ceremony yet, I encourage you at some point, go back in this video, watch the entire ceremony, especially the poppy poem that was presented by a young lady. She found her courage and her voice, and she got up and said a poppy poem today. So it's been just super. So any questions for me from anybody? Is there anything coming up in the feed there, or does our host have any questions right now? No. Okay, that's okay. That's totally fine. Not right now, or maybe we're just not getting it.
Still learning.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm learning how to use this new program. So if you folks are enjoying this new style of presentation, let us know. If you think there's some things we can improve on, please let us know. Comment below. We appreciate constructive criticism. We're always looking to get better in all our things. Rallies, speech giving, the technical stuff. You know, we want you to have good viewing and good sound, so we appreciate your feedback. Please keep it coming. I'm partnering with like different groups now, and it's so awesome. So February 4th, I started All Fired Up for Freedom, and I was doing these rallies and freedom events and church in the park and church in the parking lot in different places. And basically everywhere I go, I partner with people and pull off these events, right? So I've got these awesome people in Whitecourt I work with sometimes, and awesome people in Barhead, and so on and so forth. And so that's what I was doing. And then basically what happened is my heart pulled me to come to Edmonton. I just felt like I was needed here. I could sense back in May and June that Edmonton had some negative energy, some really angry negative energy. And I just felt like, hey, you know what? Edmonton needs a reset. We got to guide Edmonton in more positive ways for events. And so I started being involved in events, did church in the park all summer from June 20th to August 29th. And then, you know, now I've partnered with this other great team called Alberta for Liberty. And I hope you check out the Facebook page and you like and follow it. So Alberta for Liberty, the number 4. And I'm working with this amazing team, and we do events together sometimes. We've also got a partnership with Edmonton Freedom Central. I love Edmonton Freedom Central and all the different people who contribute to it, because basically you get to hear about freedom events like all over the place. You don't have to be at all of them. And this page is awesome because we got these different people contributing with their different perspectives, and it just makes it super interesting. So if you, tune in regularly to Edmonton Freedom Central, there's always going to be something interesting for you to look at every single day, maybe several times a day. So we appreciate people and their support of Edmonton Freedom Central and the projects that they cover. And then Alberta for Liberty is predominantly basically about rallies in Edmonton and possibly area. We are looking actually to create more leaders. And so we have a special exercise we're doing at the November 13th rally. The theme of that rally is Say Yes to Kids. Say no to masks. Say no to mandated vaccinations. Say no to unreasonable restrictions, and say yes to kids. And so that's November 13th if you want to come out to that. And after the march, basically what we're doing is we're going back to the same grounds where we'll have the rally. And then we'll be doing a facilitated exercise where we get people in groups, and then each group is going to get a leader. And some of you are going to be signing up as leaders of more groups. So in a sense, it's unity. Like there's the unity umbrella, but there's different groups working on different projects, but we're still working all for the common good. So we're still working as a team in our different areas. So that's the concept. So I'm just super excited about it. I'm already seeing stuff happen, and I'm loving like the enthusiasm and the help. Like even today, Remembrance Day event, we had people here today that I've never seen at an All Fired Up for Freedom event before. They're here for the first time, and because, well, they felt pulled to come to a Remembrance Day event. So we're starting to reach new people. So we got to keep that up. Okay. All right. Well, thank you very much. I got to get the heat blasted here and warm up my toes now. So you guys have a great day, and thank you for your support.
This is a violation of our Charter Right, Section 6, and a violation of the Emergency Act 14.1. And refuse to skip the task. And tell everybody to skip the task. Say no to the task. No to that quarantine. Say no. I'm going to be declining the test today. Thank you very much. You are a citizen. You have rights.
I went to see the doctor with a touch of the flu, and I'm kinda skeptical of what he told me to do. He said that I should lock myself inside my room for a year, shut my non-essential business down and cower in fear. I said, Doc, I don't know, that seems so out of line. Give it 3, maybe 4 days, I bet I'll be fine. He said, no, you must not, you must wait for the shot. Everybody's gotta get it or society stops. I said, Doc, I don't know, is that all really true? These shots are brand new, they ain't fully approved. He said, no, you can trust us, it's the latest in science. Never mind the people dying, just give up your compliance. I said, Doc, you must have me mistaken with someone pliable. I can't trust you if none of these companies are liable. So I'm gonna stay the course like a one-way road. Take your vaccine and shove it, I'ma just say no. 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 Just say what? Just say no. To the war being waged on our minds and our bodies and our soul. They ain't looking out for you, it's a scam and it's all about control. So doing what they say won't make it go away, oh no. But they don't know the lengths I'll go. Through rain and snow, I ain't so I left the doctor's office and stepped onto the street, feeling troubled by the lies and campaign of deceit. But I'm not easily defeated, I'm not one to retreat. I tried to make a post about it, they deleted the tweet. Undeterred, I stood on the corner holding a sign. The cops showed up, I got arrested and fined. They told me that my words are considered a crime. Next they'll be coming for the thoughts in your mind. I knew they were wrong, I took my ticket and left. They're trying to make it difficult for those of us who resist. And with every headline the propaganda continues. Now they say I'm gonna need a shot to step in a venue. All according to script, going exactly as planned. Next they're gonna wanna put a microchip in our hand. They say conspiracy theory, and that's all that they do. But it isn't just a theory if it keeps coming true.
And that's why I'm gonna just say no.
Just say no. Just say no. Just say no.
Just say no.
Just say no. Just say what? Just say so no. This is where we're at now, the final boss battle. I'm not about to back down, I'm hopping in the saddle. I'm coming at it from a different angle like a southpaw. The system is corrupt, so it's good to be an outlaw. I'm rallying the troops, I'm looking for the lions who know that we will never get more freedom with compliance. If the passports happen, we won't get away with just one. They're gonna make us take a new shot every 6 months. It's only getting worse, every time that we comply more. They take away the rights that our grandparents died for. Time to defy and let the vibes rise more. Make a better world for our kids, what we strive for. And that means getting rid of all restrictions and masks, saying no to passports and resisting the jab. It's time to kick some dust up like an unpaved road. So join me and Chris Sky and just say no. Just say no.
Just say no.
Just say no. Just say no. Just say no. Just say no.